Hey you guys, what is going on, and welcome back to Black Entertainment. Thanks once again you guys for all tuning into yet another Call of Duty Black Ops 2 video. This is actually a really good free-for-all gameplay. I basically just took everybody in the lobby, put them in my toilet, and then just shit on them all. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this gameplay. But the video is not even about, the video is not even about the gameplay you are watching on screen right now. The video is actually going to be about some Advanced Warfare, which is the new Call of Duty coming out in November, which is something I haven't really covered too much. And I know a lot of you guys ask me how I feel about Advanced Warfare. Do I think it's going to be a good game? But the other day there was some info released that if you pre-order Advanced Warfare, you are going to be able to play the map Pipeline from Call of Duty 4. If you are unfamiliar what Pipeline is, I'm going to throw up some gameplay here in a couple seconds. Me of just running around Pipeline in Call of Duty 4. The speed is turned up to 2 times. That way I'm not just taking my sweet ass time running around. I was going to get some multiplayer gameplay from Pipeline, but getting into a Pipeline gameplay on Call of Duty 4 is nearly impossible. I mean, it's so far-fetched that I would have to play the game for like 5-6 hours, and that is something I do not really want to deal with because I don't want to deal with modders and all that bullshit. So this is Pipeline from Call of Duty 4. If you are unfamiliar with this level, or if you haven't even played Call of Duty 4, now you know the general idea of what Pipeline looks like. And my first thought when this info was released is, why Pipeline? Why did Sledgehammer do the Pipeline map, and why are they bringing back Pipeline from Call of Duty 4? Because the first thing that popped in my head is Call of Duty 4 was hands down one of the best Call of Duties of all time, and that's really hard to argue. I mean, you may not think it's the first best or the second best, but it's definitely in the top 3 Call of Duties of all time. And if you look back at Call of Duty 4, one of the things that really stands out is the maps in Call of Duty 4 and how many good multiplayer maps were actually in Call of Duty 4. I mean, if you just think of a couple, you can think of like Ambush, we got Backlot, we got Countdown was a pretty good map, Crossfire was good. What are some other ones? We got District that was in that game. I personally enjoyed Downpour. We had Shipment, which was a very small map. I mean, I can see why they wouldn't bring that one back. We got what are some other? Showdown was a pretty good map, and I think of all these great maps in Call of Duty 4, and it makes me wonder why they chose Pipeline to come back. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pipeline was a pretty fun map. There was definitely worse maps in Call of Duty 4 than Pipeline. I mean, let me just bring up Block really quick, which I believe is probably the worst map in Call of Duty history, at least in my opinion. So at least they didn't bring Block back. I probably would have went out and chopped my dick off and made a YouTube video about that, which would have been probably pretty exciting and would have been a pretty good video for you guys, but it's something I necessarily didn't want to do. So the whole thing is Pipeline. Why did they bring Pipeline back opposed to these other maps? Which is okay. I mean, it's still pretty cool. We've seen some other Call of Duty 4 maps be remade. We've seen Crash remade. I think there was another one that was remade. It was Strike. Strike from Call of Duty 4 was also remade in a Call of Duty game after Call of Duty 4. So there's been some other Call of Duty 4 maps that have been remade. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Pipeline plays, especially if you had played Call of Duty, because snipers are so dominant now in Call of Duty. It's going to be interesting because Pipeline is definitely a sniper level. I mean, yes, you do have buildings which you go in. There's some underground passages which you've probably seen in the clip when I showed you guys some Pipeline gameplay. I try to go everywhere in that gameplay. So it also suits some SMG players, some assault rifle players, and even you freaking shotgun players who I very much dislike. So maybe Pipeline will be a good thing. We will see. We will see how dominant snipers are in Pipeline, and if snipers are even dominant in Advanced Warfare, because I feel that is a problem that definitely needs to be fixed. Sniping is way too easy, and sniping is starting to begin, or I should say it began the downfall of Call of Duty ever since quickscoping was introduced. It's just so bad now. It's really hard to play a Call of Duty game nowadays. So yeah, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning into this short video going over the Advanced Warfare kind of leaked information about Pipeline. Do you guys think this is a great map to bring back, or would you have rather seen a different map from Call of Duty 4? So thanks you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, and I would love to see some of your guys' support in the comments. You have a wonderful rest of the day. Peace, you guys.